We start at 4 with another twist and turn for the father and extended family of Jacob and Sarah Hoggle. Good afternoon, everyone, and thanks for joining us for News 4 at 4. I'm Un Yang.
I'm Erica Gonzalez. It's been 11 years since the young siblings disappeared. Their mother was eventually charged with their murders, declared incompetent for trial, and then had those charges dismissed.
Today, another twist. Their mother, Catherine Hoggle, was set to appear in court after being indicted again. But late today, that hearing was postponed. News 4's Darcy Spencer has been covering the case from the very beginning. Darcy, another hard day in a long history of hard days for the Hoggle family.
That's right. It certainly was. You know, there was a lot of anticipation. We got word yesterday evening that she had, in fact, been indicted, arrested, and that hearing was going to happen this afternoon. So there was a lot of media around, the state's attorney and the defense. They got in for the hearing at 1:30 this afternoon. Then the defense attorney said he had a scheduling conflict. So he did ask for the hearing to be postponed until tomorrow. So we weren't really able to find out any new information. But Catherine Hoggle did appear from the jail via closed circuit television for that appearance today. She really didn't say anything. The judge asked her if she was able to hear him okay. She said yes. That was the extent of it. A very brief hearing today. So we're showing you the new mugshot that just came out for Catherine Hoggle, once again facing those murder charges in the deaths of her two children, Sarah and Jacob. And as you said, their bodies have never been found, but she is being charged with murder. Now, she's been in a psychiatric hospital for several years. Previous murder charges were eventually dropped back in 2022 after she was repeatedly found to be not competent to stand trial. Now, when the state's attorney got word that she had been released last month from that psychiatric facility, and we understand she was sent to another facility, then he pursued that murder indictment, and she was arrested in Kent County, Maryland on Friday. Now, her attorney has called this new arrest and charges improper. He's argued repeatedly over the years that she's not competent to aid in her own defense. Let's hear some of what he had to say, as well as the children's aunt a short time ago.
These are the exact same charges that were dismissed in 2022. I don't think there is any new evidence. There has been no change in Catherine's condition. My understanding is that when she was arrested at gunpoint, she was still under a civil commitment, as she has been since 2022.
Like a lightning bolt just hits you and runs through you when you first hear about it, and have to go through everything again and just how it's unfolding and everything.
So again, it's been very hard for everyone on both sides of this family just to deal with this for the last 11 years. We should also add that Hoggle's defense attorney asked the judge for a gag order. He did not want anyone, including the defense and prosecution, to speak to reporters. He said he didn't want it to be tried in the press until the hearing tomorrow. The judge said no, he denied that. As a matter of fact, that defense attorney did speak on camera, as you just saw. The state's camera. He's going to wait till the hearing happens tomorrow.
Well, Darcy, I'm going to ask you here, now that it has been moved to tomorrow, what's next in the case? And as somebody who is extremely familiar with it, what do you expect to happen next?
Well, this is a bond review hearing, so when she was arrested, basically she doesn't have any bond, so technically she's being held without a bond. She does have a right to ask to be released on some kind of bond or maybe home detention, things like that. So that's what's going to be heard tomorrow at 1:30 here at the courthouse. We haven't heard yet what exactly is going to be asked for. I would assume that her defense attorney could possibly ask for something like that. The state's attorney, I would imagine, would ask for a no bond status. So we're supposed to hear those arguments again tomorrow afternoon, and we would get a decision from the judge at that time. But we don't know at this point whether this question of competency would come up as well. You know, her attorney was saying that she may not be able to get the meds she needs at the jail and things like that. So it does feel like we've hit a restart or reset button and kind of starting with this case all over again.
Darcy, you've been covering this story from the beginning. You've talked to the children's father over the years, and you even reported just now how hard it is on the family. How are they approaching this latest development in the case?
Well, you know, the father of the children has been very outspoken over the years, and he really kept this in the media day after day. Anybody who would do an interview with him, he would talk. He just wants to find his children. That's his #1 goal in life. He didn't speak to reporters today. He was in the courtroom. I think he wants to wait and see what the judge decides. But this really is reopening wounds. You know, when your children have been missing day after day, there have been so many searches for them over the years, and you're just invested your entire life into something like this. We knew potentially this day would come where she would be released and get rearrested. And again, we have to look at, you know, potential for a trial, issues of competency come up once again. But it's really heartbreaking, and it's really hard on this family to continue to go through this. But this is part of the system and what they have to deal with. But we didn't hear specifically from him today. But again, they're keeping very close tabs on us to see what happens next. He just wants his children. He just wants to know where they are. And he says he'll keep searching until he's no longer with us.
Yeah. The unknowing is agony for
It's
this
a
family.
long enduring anguish for them.
Yeah.
Darcy Spencer, thank you.